I'd like to thank the convener of this training program, Next Media Star, Mr. Sammy Wejia. I call him Honorable Sammy Wejia, for putting together such a noble initiative. It's something that is worth emulating, and I think more people should be on this. So if you have your friends, you need to tell them that they should come and then share the wonderful experiences that you're having with them, so that they should also be a part of this. The caliber of people you are being exposed to, I'm sure you are all enjoying it, from not just Nigeria but around the world. It's a fantastic thing to be a part of. So thank you very much for having me, Oga Sami, and thanks to all of you who are here as well.
Oga Kofi, the thanks actually comes from me. After the training, we'll meet in the other room and we'll discuss the other issues.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much, sir.
Victoria, thank you.
Much, sir. Okay, so I'm going to just do a brief introduction of our lecturer here. Then you can take over the class from there, sir. All right, we have here Mr. Kofi Bartels, who is one of the leading broadcast journalists working in the southern part of Nigeria. And he is amongst the most amazing on-air personalities in the country, with an infectious and exquisite on-air and off-air personality. He was born and raised in Nigeria, but his parents are from Ghana. So we could say he has a dual citizenship, Nigerian and that of Ghana. He works with leading talk radio stations like the 92.3 Nigeria Info FM, in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. And also he's one of the, he studied and concluded
Victoria, can you hear me? Hello, Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're wrong. He doesn't work with Nigeria Info. He works with Lagos Talks FM in Lagos.
Okay, sir. So he works with Lagos Talk FM in Lagos, Nigeria. And he studied in Nigeria and concluded his Bachelor in Marketing degree in the University of Calabar, Nigeria. He's also exceptional in his performances. He's exceptional in his performances, and that have given him an ad on earning awards. Like, he was recognized for the monumental positive impact he makes in the society through his programs and career practice. He has won a hat trick of awards in 2019 in the prestigious The Media Awards. He was the best radio open air presenter, male, and also the best radio host, gospel, and best radio host, human interest. Finally, before that, he also believes in giving life the best thing out of humanity. Like he says, the life of a journalist is a call to serve humanity. He has this written on his Twitter wall, on his Twitter handle, and he have received awards for all this. Finally, he is one of the most popular open air presenter in the entire Southeast and South-South geopolitical zone of Nigeria, based on his performance and engaging presentation techniques. He has become a household name for hosting, co-hosting, or co-hosting the following programs, which are the Morning Crossfire, Hard Facts, Rise to Wisdom, a Sunday morning gospel program. That's the Rise to Wisdom is a Sunday morning gospel program. He's an inspirational role model to younger people who have a passion for broadcasting with intention of becoming courageous OAPs in Nigeria. And I believe before the end of the lectures, we are going to draw some virtue from him. Thank you. So, sir, you can have the floor.
Thank you so much. Morrison Victoria, I think you deserve an award from me. I'll put my hands together for you for the research you've done, and for coming up with this information. It's I don't know where you got some of the information from, and I think you have you've shown me that you have one of the skills that I think your colleagues too have been taught that I would talk about today, which is about research. Which is about research. So I'm impressed that you've been able to get the information and put it out there. Some of the things you said happened a while back. So it's amazing. So Victoria, well done, well done.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can I know those who are here? Just I want you to say everybody. I can see we have about 20 people here. Very quickly, if it's possible to get to know you. How many minutes do I have, please?
You can talk from now till tomorrow. Victoria, wait. Nami go answer this one. Talk from now till tomorrow, sir. Till tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, sir. All right, sir. So if you don't have maybe in a place where the audio is not good, you can just decline to talk, and maybe later you type it as a chat. But if you can talk to me, you can say hi. I just want to know those who are on right now. Just tell me your name and just say hi to me. So one by one.
Please, excuse me. Please, can we just mute our mic? Can we mute our mic and do this orderly? I'll call everyone in order so you can just introduce yourself when you hear your name. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's start with Sam Victor Joseph. Sam Victor Joseph, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Sam Victor Joseph, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yes. So you were one of the students here. Are you in media? Have you had media experience anyway? Just your first time?
No, this is my first time, sir.
Okay. Just tell me a bit of yourself in one sentence.
Ready to learn.
Oh, fantastic. Nice. All right.
Okay, thank you, Sam Victor. Also, Emmanuel, if you're there, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hi. Good evening.
If I'm to describe myself in one word, I would be I'm inquisitive.
Okay. So obviously this may take some time, and the internet is not too great for everyone. So what you can do is to just say something about yourself. When you go for meetings, sometimes they'll say, oh, everybody here, just introduce yourself. So you say like how the first guy did it. Just, hi, my name is this thing. I'm glad to be here. My name is that. I'm a student of this, that. I'm happy to be here. Just say something. You can chat. You can type it. So without wasting time, I will go straight to tell you a bit about myself. I can see David Wisdom has already done his own. Okay, David Wisdom says, as a child, I listened to Nigerian Info. Are you making me feel old, David Wisdom? Am I that old? Okay, Treasure Udede, I'm happy to see you type there. Chiboys and Nwoku rather. And then Treasure did it. Okay, so please just type, okay? Type, and then let me just see something from you. I like to know those I'm talking to so I can give you the best. Okay, so I've been in the media space, in Memaba's Gospel. How about here? Nice. Okay, so I've been in the media space for since December 2007. So I mean, I'm relatively new. It's just 25, 15 years. So I'm relatively new. And how did I get into the media world? I was in school. Okay, Daniel Monday. Good evening to you. So happy to know you're there. Chuku Divine. Hello. Nice to know you're there. So I was in the university, and I had this desire to be in media. As I know that at least in secondary school, I used to record myself, on the tape. They had a little player, a radio cassette player, in not just a player, but also was a radio set in the kitchen. So that's the one I could play with. Back then you had what we call ghetto blasters. So everybody, like you have home theater now, you had a ghetto blaster. So every home will have a ghetto blaster. That radio, that one that has big speakers, and the father of home theater. So but I couldn't touch that. But we had a smaller, I think it was Panasonic or Sony in the kitchen. So whilst I'm doing my chores, I had a tape. I record myself on it because I had radio icons I used to like. I'll listen to them, and I'll mimic them. So how you do it on the radio cassette player is you press play and record at the same time. No, yes, I think you press play and record or something. So when you press record, I think, so you can talk into it.
Is actually play and record simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah. Augustine, you're a legend.
Old age don't carry us go. Old age.
There, my brother. Sometimes I have to remind myself I'm not where I used to be. So I'll record it, and then I'll listen to myself. And then I used to like World Baby Love. World Baby Love does something like Rick Dees, and but how could Rick Dees is popular, but in the city I was living at that time, World Baby Love was popular, because he used to do what Rick Dees in the weekly top 40, and play on Cool FM. So I like how you say, my name is World Baby Love. So I record myself like that, and I play it back, but the thing started from when I was younger. I used to listen to radio, BBC a lot, VOA, because then FM was not really, we didn't have FM, believe it or not. There was a time there was no FM. You want to listen to radio, you have to carry a transistor or a small battery powered, radio, and try to tune. We had what we call short wave, and then a medium wave. You'd have to tune. I was in Calabar then. I grew up in Calabar. So it was for me from my childhood. My father was a radio freak. My father was an information freak. So if he's listening to BBC, he's listening to VOA through the shortwave, you have to tune. And believe it or not, I mean, then you can't just tune to maybe Niger FM to listen to Asami, and then your radio will be Niger FM for 1 year.
Please, sorry for interrupting you, sir.
Yes.
Adela Daniel, please mute your mic. Thank you. Okay, sir, you can continue.
Thank you. So then you'd have to change, because if let's say Radio Rivers, for instance, is on a particular, or RS Rivers Broadcasting or whatever is on a particular shortwave. If you come back in the afternoon, they would have moved. So you have to now go and search for them. You have to search for them. You have to search. It was tough. So my old man would do that, and I'll be lying down on the bed at night. I was listening to radio. So I fell in love with broadcasting from a young age, but I didn't know how to break in. I didn't know how to get in. And I know for a lot of you, you'll be having you quite asking, how can you get in? How can you get in? So I didn't know how I was going to get in. Here was I, a university student, had never done a radio program. But I would see some people, my colleagues today on radio, hear them on radio, and I'll say, I think I can do that. I'll see them on TV. I'll say, I think I can do that. So what I did was I had to go and see one of them, a sports presenter, young guy at the time, and I had to plead with him to say, please, can I join your crew? Can I join your crew? Then I also went to the TV station to say, okay, I want to be on air. I asked when I said I want to be on air. They looked at me and told me, what they told me was enough to discourage me. I just went and I said I want to be on air. Now, as a presenter or media professional of some years, I've gotten I want to be on air many times. So when young people come to me, say I want to be on air, I get how they feel. I was told to go and look for sponsors for my TV program, to go and look for sponsors. If I can bring sponsors, you can pay for airtime. Oh, you can go on air. I felt so happy. I said, wow, you mean if I go get sponsors, I can be on CRBC, just like ABC? So I went and drew up proposals, program content. I had to go and study how to write proposals. And then I entered the streets of Calabar, took bike, started going to most of the big companies then were on a street in Calabar called the Marian Road. So I went, company by company. By the time I finished the first office, dropping proposal, I realized that my transport was finished. So I had to trek. I said, okay, well, I can't go home. I have to get a sponsor today. So with me and my starched shirts and oversized shirt, and the shoe was praising God. That shoe that has a mouth like this. I was feeling good in my starched shirt, big shirt, lanky me like this, going to offices looking for sponsors. Of course, most of them will tell you, "Oh, we're going to." So okay, you come back tomorrow. We'll look at this. I didn't know that thing. It doesn't work like that. So I was feeling so happy. They said they would look into my proposal. Then the next day I went there, voicemail. Nothing came out. So I got to learn the hard way that it's not easy to get sponsorship when you're starting. It's not straightforward. It's not straightforward. Sometimes I'll be trekking on the street, just to get sponsored. So I got discouraged. But I met a friend. I had to go meet a friend. Somebody, he wasn't my friend, but I knew him from through someone. He was a student, but he was doing something on radio and TV. So I met him, in school, University of Calabar, and I asked him for an appointment. And I said, Solomon, I need your help. I've been trying to get on TV. My whole mind, my whole life, everything's, I just want to be on TV. I want people to see me, I think I can do it. Solomon said, Kofi, okay, I think you can do it too, but you need to start from radio. Go and write a proposal for a program that can go on radio. It's easier for you to go start with radio. So I took his advice. I went, crafted a program called Spectacles. And I went to submit the proposal, and as God would have it, it was approved. It was approved. So my focus had been on TV. But interestingly, and I hope everyone is getting me, the day that I saw that my proposal was approved for that radio program called Spectacles on CRBC Paradise FM Calabar, it was the same day I got a call by this sports guy who had been disturbing for months. He called me one day and said I should come. And I went, I did the sports thing with them, joined their crew. It was called Sports at 10. And so as we're leaving, the head of programs radio said, you young man, come here. You're the one who said you want to do a radio program. Yes, we've approved your program now. Your roster is starting today. I had to run home. And I didn't have money. I was just finishing school. So I had to borrow money, get money from my dad. I went to the cafe. My dad was a teacher. They had not been paid for months. So I went to the cafe, quickly downloaded, scripts, stories I was going to use, ran to the studio. I didn't even know how to use the console. I didn't know how to use the console. But I think I saw the sports guys that morning doing some things, and then I'm a church guy. So I've seen that kind of console in my church before. So I managed one or two, and I scaled through. So what I'm trying to say, let me just say good evening to the others who have said hi before I tell you what I'm trying to say. So I can see Joy Pilots. All right, Joy Pilots, good evening to you, and it's a pleasure to see you, to have you here. Olubomi Nasiru, nice to hear from you. No media experience, but you love to learn new things. It's great, fantastic. I'm sure that's why you're here. Thank you for your kind words. Vincent Demon, or Diamond rather, Diamond, sorry. I'm okay, I'm up to here. Fantastic. Also Emmanuel, fantastic. I think I hear you. Thank you so much. Kelvin Wilson, fantastic, 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 fantastic. All right, all right, all right. Iro Dinjo Justice, fantastic. I'm honored to be here too. David Wisdom, I can see your message. Fantastic. Kenneth West, great, great, great. Chibueze Nwoko, great. All right, all right, all right. Emeka Tonye, Olisa Emeka, all right. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Daniel Monday, hi. Hi, I'm happy you're excited and fired up. Chiku Design, I think I've also seen a mem Abasi, in Nem Abasi. All right, in Abasi. Treasure, David. All right, so this is a point I'm trying to make from the lesson. You know, sometimes young people, you know, will walk up to me, and I'm sure they walk up to Oga Sami as well, to say, you know, I want to be in media. I want to be a radio presenter, and it's great. It's good to have such dreams. I had it. I was there myself. You know, in fact, one of the presenters that later became my colleague, you know, then, you know, he's a big star in Cross River State. He reads news, has a radio program, great voice. Someone I look up to. You know, if you see me reading news, I took a lot of things from him. He told me, well, I should join the marketing department in CRBC, that's Cross River Broadcasting Corporation. Since I read marketing in school, you know, I didn't have the talent to be on radio, you know, but I didn't hold it against them. You know, I was more determined. I was more fired up, and I used the opportunity, the experience to motivate myself to do more, you know. So the first thing I would say to anyone who wants to get on air is to say, you have to be hungry. You have to be very hungry. You know, that hunger, that desire is important for every single thing that you do as a radio OAP. And you have to avoid, because as a radio OAP who is established, it's possible for you to lose your hunger. I've been there. I've had points in my career where I've lost my hunger. Now, I'm not talking about a hunger for agbado or hunger for beans. No, I'm talking about hunger for success, hunger to be on top, hunger to be the best. You know, in the trajectory of a professional in any field or anything, you know, you have a plateau, a graph. Sorry, graph goes like this. It's going up. There's a point where you hit success in the recognition, you know, if you want to call it that, where people know you, or where you get to that target you want to get to. You know, it's easy to go like this. Now your graph is like this, straight, straight, straight. Now, you need to do something for that graph to go, because if it keeps being straight, after a while, it's going to start going down. It's going to start going down. So the first pitfall to avoid, I think, will be to lose your hunger. You know, to lose your hunger. So you have to be hungry, and you have to stay hungry. It was Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, the late founder of Apple, who said, "Stay foolish, stay hungry." You know, staying foolish means that you always want to learn. You're never too big to learn anything. You know, you're never too big to learn anything. You know, and then stay hungry means that you're still ambitious. You're still ambitious. Many of my colleagues, including myself, you know, when you get to a point, everybody's praising you, everybody's admiring you, you know, you're on air, online, you have followers. It's possible to believe you have arrived. I've been there. There's a point in my career in Port Harcourt where I lost that hunger, you know, that hunger. Because you ask yourself, what next? You know, but I'm glad to say I've rediscovered that hunger. Oh, Gasami, are you there? You know.
Yes, yes, I am, and I'm following. I like the hunger for Agbado part. I laughed my head off.
I hope our media stars got the joke.
I know they did. They did.
So that hunger, at the time I used to tell myself, how I wish I could just get that hunger I had when I started. I tell you what, I was so hungry when I got the opportunity to go on air. I was doing 10 times more than everyone without having any issues, without having any reservations. And guess what? I was doing it without one kobo of pay. I wasn't being paid one kobo, one. I was okay. I was ready to do 10 times more than everybody. Right. Now I rediscovered that hunger in 2020. I'll tell you how. I mean, it's not as if I threw it away, but the way I wanted to be hungry, yeah, I rediscovered in 2020, and it's helped me. It's helped me since to do things. Some of it online, some of it on air. You can see a lot of it are off the air, because you have to build yourself and you have to improve yourself. It has helped me so much. So let me get back to my story. So I got on radio and I began to learn the ropes. You understand? I got a lot of encouragement from my friends who are colleagues, who some of them in Port Harcourt there. Some of them have left, you know. But I think because I was doing so many things about this particular hunger and desire to be on air, and because I realized that, okay, nothing just happens and I need to take the feedback from whoever I'm getting it from, but it's no, we can't help you, or go and find sponsors, or you studied marketing, you can't be a radio presenter. I need to take all of that as, I don't take it personally. I don't take it personally, I take it as a challenge to prove that I can do it. I was speaking to a gentleman, a very respected lecturer in theater arts in River State. He's well respected. He put something up on his status. I think a parent was asking him to to take a young man into his cultural trip, because they travel around the world, to showcase the culture of River State. And whenever government has events, they perform. So he told the lady that he can only give out his slots for members of his team to people who are his students, people who are students of theater arts. So I messaged him and I told him, sir, I understand what you're saying. And I know that people will not understand how you think you are harsh, but the truth is you're going to find it difficult to start to ignore your students who have been training and pouring in sleepless nights in the crab in Uniport for years. You're going to find it difficult to give your slot to somebody who has not even done anything with your start. But I said something to him. I said, if this youngster has what it takes, because some people are naturally talented in acting, but they're not in theater arts. Just like I think I'm a natural on radio, but I wasn't studying mass communications. If I said, if this youngster knows what, it has what it takes, they won't take no for an answer. They're going to do everything possible to get to you. They're going to do everything possible to get to you and to achieve that dream. Even if it means chasing you down and coming to just be around you, saying, I want to do PA work for you. I don't want to go on air now. Let me just do PA work around you. Yeah. In today's world, we have this desire for things to happen now. I want to go on air now. I want to be like Honey Ojuku now. I want to be like Sammy Wejia now. I want to be like Dayo Lishaki now. I want to go on air now. I want to be like Kofi Bartels now. I want to be like Sandra Ezekwesili now. No, 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 no. For some people, if you're lucky, you have a chance and you be employed and you get a job on radio station immediately. But for a lot of people, it doesn't happen now. Yeah. And nothing just happens. So I realized that the opportunity I had to go on radio was divine. I'll explain. You see, everything is connected. All the efforts I put into go on TV, going from office to office, trying to knock on doors, recording myself, having this desire and hunger, sleepless nights, talking to God about it, meeting people, tearing up my old proposals, writing new ones because they said the old idea was no good, and all those things, because I had to trek the streets to knock on doors, going to media companies that had like, okay, all this coverage, this digital coverage, and it was new. It's okay, I want to work for free. It all added up somehow. Things just added up. So if you're waiting for that perfect opportunity to be a media, professional and be successful like your mentor, Ogasami, it won't work. You don't have to wait for that perfect opportunity. I'm sure Ogasami has given you, if not, you go and check it out. His history is well documented, where he started from. His story is even more inspirational than mine, because he has hit heights in River State, and he still remains humble. That's the thing. He will always say, nothing there, but it started from somewhere, and if you ask him, I'm sure he'll say that he can connect the dots, all the little efforts, you think you're wasting your time, little attempts, they say, no, it all somehow will add up, you see. So you have to start from where you are. If you meet a closed door, don't give up. Don't be in a hurry to even go on air. I tell you what, there's something called DCA, Duty Continuity Announcer. That's the system I got introduced to, and I'm glad for it. So when I started in the sports, there was opportunity to, in CRBC radio, to become a DCA. So you'll be on duty in the time of the day, you read announcements, So I said, okay, I'm interested, look for what is there. I was hungry. I was hungry, so I was looking at everything. And they put my name. But you see, they paired me with some old hands, For months, I didn't go on air. I'll be on the morning roster, 6 a.m. I have to be in the studio. The boss would come and pick me up. That helped. So I didn't have to worry about how I'll get to the studio. And I would be there with these OAPs, and they would not even allow me to say, Pim, it'll be fetch the scripts. Government stations, the announcements are like this. His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, or River State, has announced that the 600 plots of land allocated to blah, 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 it has been revoked. Obituary. We, the family of AXYZ, regret to announce the passing on of our dearly beloved, the obituary retire. The commissioner of government station. Then, of course, you have all these companies and see announcements like this. I won't read one. I'll bring the script, help me sort them out. So one day, I sat down watching, but I knew my time would come. It's life. It's just life. So one of the people I was paired with one day said, okay, take one script and read. So I read, and I said, okay, you have to, correct this and correct that. And that was it. I didn't take it personal. Even the guy who told me I should read marketing, he saw me and said, wow, okay, you've done well. You're determined. I see you're determined. Keep it up. So please, sometimes if you get those rejections, it's not because you don't like it. I have 1,001 people asking me, and I try to help the most I can. But I always tell people, don't be scared to start from somewhere. Now, all this while I was on radio, I wasn't being paid. In fact, in Cross River Broadcasting Corporation, I grew to become, I was on radio. I could be on radio and TV in the same hour. I'll be presenting on radio. They rostered me for TV news. I run upstairs to go and read TV on an empty stomach. I was hungry. My stomach was biting me. I'll be reading news. Life was hard. You can't recognize me from what I used to be, So I was doing all these things, popular. I became popular, no money. They were not paying me. I was in CRBC from 2007, 2012, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 years. I had never paid a salary for 5 years. But I was going every day. In fact, I took on more responsibility. I did a program, and it was the only chroma key program, that was being done at the time. I have to spend sleepless nights to produce one episode, to burn on a CD, to take to the studio. I have to go and lobby for tape so I could go out and record my program. I have to look for studios outside. If we could not do it in the station, government station things now, so, but I did it. So I think I would say you have to be hungry and be foolish. A lot of people helped me along the way. For my program, Spectacles on Radio, I got help to start. Is it recording my pilot? For my program on TV, I did the same Spectacles on TV, current affairs program. I just took what I was doing on radio and had a TV version. I got help. People who were helping me edit. I had a friend, he's good at editing. He'll use his system at home, burn his fuel. He helped me edit one episode per week. We didn't collect one kobo. He didn't collect from me. I'll sleep. There's another one, Udwak, will help me edit sometimes. There were two of them. He will spend sleepless nights in the office. And I'll just be able to produce one episode for the next day before I go home to sleep. But it helped me. So all I'm saying is just be foolish. You don't know who is going to be your help in this media journey tomorrow. For me to be on Nigerian Folk, that was my first paid job. A lot of people don't know. All the other ones I was doing, my name is Batman on radio. I wasn't being paid, but I had to look for how to survive, in those who are from Akwa Ibom or Calabar, we know what we call Intangade. In media, we call it PP. Look for how to make ends meet. You go for an interview, so can I find something for me now? So even for me to be a Nigerian phone, it was providence, because I was trying to leave the government station to go to a private station. I called somebody who said I should go to Abuja for an interview. I went to Abuja for the interview. The station did not offer me the money I think it would help me survive in Abuja. 50K. Then, Abuja is an expensive city to live in. But somehow someone heard my voice and called me and said, "Oh, the station opening in Enugu called Nigerian Food." It was for Port. Can just try and find out. So people help. Information, if you don't know who can call you tomorrow, and then when you have a chance to help people. I'm happy that, at least I know that I've called people for opportunities and they got paid. So that hunger is, so as an OAP, radio P, be careful not to lose your hunger. That's what I would say. You can get this, you're going to just get to the top. Be careful not to lose your hunger. I used to tell my proteges and young people I mentor that I've run out of what to tell people when I go for public speaking engagements in Port Harcourt at the time. I've been telling the same story about how I started for a long time. I need something new, and I don't know, because what am I achieving? And that new thing came in 2020 in the midst of pandemic. In the midst of pandemic, I had my company was looking for those they could let go because they felt that they could not sustain paying everyone, paying everyone's salary. They felt that because of COVID, the economy was going to nosedive. So they I think around the country let about not less than 40, 50 people go. And I was one of those. Surprisingly, people were surprised, but I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because I know where I work, and I already told them, see, any of us, they told us we will have to let somebody go. So in the middle of COVID, I was taking care of my old fat man who needed to have certain medications every day, and it was costing me a lot of money. I was fired, FIRED. I never shy away from it, never shy. I've given a lot of public speeches about it. So I think it's part of my story, and I embrace it. In the midst of COVID, when people are trying to, I was out of a job. And some people in Port Harcourt say, "Oh, you left Nigeria Info." I didn't leave Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info let me go. But it's part of the experience. It's part of the life of an OAP. So that's something you should be aware of. You could be let go any day. But I think, like I said, it was a tough period because I had people depending on me. Not just my father. I had people, in River State who were close to me, who, are part of my family. I take them as family members. As how am I going to sustain this myself and these people? So, but I think that COVID period, this is a personal story I'm sharing with you. I don't want you to take this lightly. I want this to sink into you because I want you not to forget this class. I think my 2020 experience, the 20th of April 2020, was an old man in the car, went for fuel, because the lockdown was coming and everything. And I was asking myself, well, it's part of life. I move on to the next thing. And this is God's way of pushing me to another level. But how am I going to take care of this old man? Because he has to take his meds, and he's always been in the hospital, in UPTH. They know me well there. So how am I going to do it? But God kept me. But that experience of being fired, for reasons you can't put your hand on, it helped me rediscover a hunger. It helped me rediscover a hunger, a hunger. And I said, okay, what am I going to do? I don't have a radio show. It was lockdown, COVID, people were streaming live, so I had to go and sit down and say, okay, I don't know how to do. We're going to use Instagram to do IG live. Is that what I want? And so I had to sit down to see, okay, how can I stream? How can I get people to hear me from anywhere in the world in a setting that will be fitting of my status? So I picked my laptop up, opened my Facebook, put on my software and started streaming. And I said, I'm doing a program called Late Night Talk. And if you go to my Facebook, or you go to my YouTube, you would see that when I started that thing during the COVID period, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. But by the time I got the last one I did, because I stopped it some time ago. The last one I did, oh my God, it was good. It was good. The last one I did was good. It almost seemed like I'm in a TV studio somewhere, And then I can say to God be the glory that I got some opportunities from people who saw what I was doing and said, wow, how are you doing this? Which TV station is it? And I said, I'm doing this from my dining area in my parlor. I said, wow, are you serious? Yeah. So if you go to my YouTube, what you see there, I did it from my dining, area, my parlor. I didn't have the funds, so I went to this street in Port Harcourt where they sell lighting materials. I bought security lights, used small money to wire them. We went home and see what I could do, then hung them in my sitting room, and that's how I did it. So I mean, I've had open doors because I was hungry. I said I can't be silent, So and I did this program almost every night. It doesn't matter where I am. I have to be at home by 7 so I can go on air by 9. Every single night on Facebook. I mean, there was an episode of that program that got to Bonny, because that time Bonny local government area was under lockdown. And so Bonny people, that was the only thing, that was the only program that got their stories to the world. Even the local government chairman of blessed memory came on that program. Why? Because I became hungry again. Life forced me to be hungry again. Life forced me to be hungry again. You understand? And so I said, wow, this local government chairman can come on this program, means I'm doing something good here. People in Bonny were calling. I mean, that program lasted for hours. I had to beg them that I wanted to go and sleep because they were going through hell in Bonny. They couldn't go out. They couldn't, go to even get water to drink, all those things because of lockdown. So I saw myself as hungry as I used to be when I started. That hunger of a Kofi who would sleep in the studio, to spend sleepless nights trying to get one thing, or Kofi who would not give up, that hunger came back. So as an OAP, it's possible to allow, the success of the moment make you comfortable. You understand? Make you comfortable, and that comfort can stunt your growth. You understand? That comfort can stunt your growth. Your principal here, Augusta Major, if you listen to him, all right, you can see that he always goes on air, fired up. I don't think you ever listen to Sammy Wejia on Nigeria FM or Classic FM, and he's not sounding fired up. He's not sounding fired up. Sammy always sounds fired up. Sammy always sounds fired up. He's not waiting for the station to give him anything. He's looking for what he can do for the station. You understand? Some Wejia will give out jerseys. Some Wejia will give out recharge cards. Some Wejia will give out, and I know that the station is not the one giving him those jerseys. If he is not hungry, to make his program the best, to make sure that when you tune into his program, you are not going to regret it, Sam Wejia will not be doing those things. You understand? So for me, it was an opportunity to get a level of hunger and desire I hadn't gotten in a while. I know what I'm talking about. I mean, of course, I do my things. I'm motivated. I'm motivated. All while I was in Nigeria, I was motivated to make a difference. But it was something I was looking for that I got. It was something I was looking for that I got when I hit. So for me, that misfortune was actually, I saw it as God pushing me to learn new things, So when you get on air, don't say, oh, I've arrived, never arrive. Never arrive, please, never arrive. If you arrive, it means there's no way you're going to again now. All right? Never you arrive. Okay? Never you arrive. Always say where I am is just one of the bus stops on the way to where I'm getting to, because as a human being in life, for every level, there's another level. If you think you've seen it, there are other things that people are doing that you are here to see. So I've always had this mentality. It's what has helped me. I've always had this mentality that, even they say, Kofi, but that's now you, I would take it to one room. There's one room in my brain. It enters there's one of my brain where I go and then I lock it there. And I just, okay, that's what I'm going to keep I lock it there, and then I go on. Because if you allow it get to your head, no, you're going to start going down. Start going down. Okay? So please, do not lose your hunger. When you are OAP, don't lose your hunger, don't lose your foolishness, don't lose your drive. Don't lose your drive. It's very important. It's very important. That hunger, right? That hunger will make you, I'm in Lagos, and Lagos is a different ball game to Port Harcourt, and of course it has its own challenges. If I must be fair, Lagos is a city, like my pastor told me when I was leaving. So if you're not careful, you swallow up your dreams. So that itself presents challenges that will either make you, mar you. Now, how can an environment like Lagos make you? You have to stay hungry. Very hungry. That hunger is what is going to make you work hard. That hunger is what's going to make you put in 10 times more, 2 times more, 3 times more what other people are putting in. That hunger is going to make you say, even if I'm being paid to do this job, I want to do more. I'm going to go extra mile. I don't care whether they're paying me to do this one in this place. I am going to do it. All right? I'm going to do it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to take your questions down, but just know that, like I said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Staying foolish does not mean you should be a foolish person. It simply means you should be humble enough to learn from people. All right, to learn from people. I'd like to take your questions now. Okay, I'd like to take questions now. David, so if you have a question, please type. If you want to talk to me, you think your internet is strong enough to to allow you to talk to me, feel free to just raise your hands, in the app. Raise your hands, and I'll be very happy to hear from you. Okay, so I can see a question here. Is everybody with me? Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir, we have heard.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay, so I can see a question here from David Wisdom. David says, does it mean someone who studies something else away from mass comm, it will be difficult to excel in the media field? Well, David, it doesn't mean it will be difficult. Like I said of myself, I'm an example of those who didn't study mass comm. I'm an example of those who didn't study. I must be honest. I don't want to make those who studied mass comm feel bad. But a lot of people who excel as OAPs never studied mass comm. A lot of people who are on a personalities never studied mass comm. I have people studied law. But at the point in Nigeria and for Port Harcourt, of the OAPs, I think I'll say about 50% of them were people who studied law. You understand? About 50% of them were people who studied law. So I mean, Tedo studied law, Millicent studied law, I think Adora studied law. Yes. So it's not about mass comm. It's not about mass comm. But you have to learn. You have to learn. I was privileged to be in a media house, CRBC, where they were big on training. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
we
I
can.
mean, all right. So the I was privileged to be in a media environment, broadcasting house, CRBC, Cross River Broadcasting Corporation. We had a program for a weekly training program called Clinic. We had a clinic every week, and the things I didn't learn in radio school, in broadcasting school, I learned them from the clinic. We did a lot of phonetics, pronunciation, presentation, and it was just an eye opener. So the things I was learning in school, English class, which I always had an A in, I didn't take it serious. Like I didn't think I was going to need it in real life, especially pronunciations and the phonetics. I got it from that. So you need to look for a way to, now the internet is, see, one of the things that the greatest school in my life today is YouTube University. Yeah, YouTube University. That is where my data goes into YouTube. You understand? My data goes into YouTube. I binge on learning things, and there's nothing you can't find on the internet. So if you can't afford to go and study a degree in media mass communications, and there's some things you feel you need to brush up on, you can check. And it's good you sign up for programs like the next, Media Star. That's a good one. And from time to time, we head on YouTube and just see what people are doing. Watch them. Follow some programs on radio in Port Harcourt. Anything you want to get. I used to run a training program in Port Harcourt, something like this, and if people went on from there some of them are doing okay, not all, because many are called, few are chosen. So the greatest way to learn in this industry is on the job. You can learn all you want to learn in the university, but there's some things you'll never know until you start practicalizing what you learned in school. When you start practicalizing, the person who never learned mass comm but has been going on air for 5 days a week for 1 year would be better, in my opinion, than the person who learned mass comm has not gone on air since he or she left school. So you have to know that also you can grow on the job. If you listen to me, how I sounded the first day I went to the and now it's different. It's different. And I'm always aware of one truth, that in our industry, in radio game, you are as good as your last presentation. People, well, we'll talk about, but this is our rule, that you're as good as your last presentation. So you want to make sure that your last presentation is better than any other presentation you've had. So write this down, you are as good as your last presentation. So you don't need to study mass comm. If you go to a radio station and they say they're looking for mass comm graduates, run away, because chances that place is not for you. Run away. Okay, so David Wisdom, I hope I got to answer the question well. You understand? I know people who studied medicine and then veered into the media field because that's what they're passionate about. What you need to have is passion, desire. If you're passionate about the radio, then that's a good place to start. But if you don't have the basics, you have to build yourself. You can't go on radio and then you're sounding like what people don't want to hear. Passion alone will not help you. You have to have certain basics. You understand? I have the gift of the gab. If you listen to Oga Sami on radio, you see how he talks, he flows. He flows, even though he might have a script, by him, but if you didn't take that script away, he's going to flow. You see how he calls the names of the football teams. If he's calling the name of a Spanish football team, you think Sami is in Spain. I'll be like, Sami, where did you even go to Spain? If he's calling the name of a French football team, you think that Sami has been, he's presented a program from France. Why? Because it's flowing. It has a gift. So if you feel you have passion, you have passion, and then I'm passionate, I want to be on air, but you don't have certain of these basics, you will fall yakata. You go and do yourself water. You understand? We'll just hear you, they'll turn off. So if you know you don't have these things, you can be around people who have these things. All right? Go for programs like this that teach you these things. Right? And then from there, you build yourself. But don't put yourself down. That's what I'm saying. Don't put yourself down. You understand? Don't put yourself down. Okay? The thing about radio is people need to want to hear you, and nobody will put you on air if you don't have something that people will want to stay tuned to. Because all you need to do is press a button, bump, you move from 92.3 to 93.5, which is a new station for Harcourt now. So don't put yourself down, but try and look for ways to build yourself up. Another question here, Olubumi Nasir says, who has been your greatest inspiration on this journey? There are many. There are many. If I want to talk about media inspiration, I will say on FM, the guys I used to listen to, all right, on the FM stations, whilst I was, growing up in school and all that. It's not one. There are many. And I wasn't in Port Harcourt, so I may mention some names you may not be aware of. But when I was in Calabar, I think River State had the first FM. So I remember my brother used to tune, try and catch Radio Rivers. Radio Rivers 2 or Radio Rivers 1 then. It was FM. It was like the first FM in South South. We didn't know what FM was then. So even till today, he's not in the country. He asks me, oh yeah, Port Harcourt, what about those guys? So all these things came together to help me. But I think the guys at BBC were a big influence. Once in a while, I'll put something out on Twitter and they'll all reply to me, why, with working with BBC, if you had all these things, have you applied? I say, I've done it many times, but it's not worked. Maybe it's God's will, I'm the kind of person, if you put me in BBC now, you don't know, you would not know I've not been there before. I binge on BBC till today. You understand? And there are a number of names, number of names. But for the modern presenters, I like Richard Quest. Why do I like Richard Quest? Richard Quest is, he puts a lot of passion into what he does. He tries to be extraordinary. Richard Quest tries to present out of the box. You never know what you're going to get from Richard Quest. He's talking about business. He's talking about the stock market. He's talking about the dollar, the yen, the euro, the pound, the naira. But Richard Quest can come to the studio with an egg. Just with an egg. He wants to talk about the naira or the American economy. You see, holding an egg. This is an egg. This is an egg. Now, what happens if I use this fork to hit this egg?
Sorry, excuse me, sir. Please, David Wisdom, please mute your mic. Thank you. You're disrupting the class. Okay, sir, you can continue.
Yeah. So I think Richard Quest is, I'll just give that example. I know that a lot of you will be able to relate with someone like that because on TV and CNN, but a lot of other names I've mentioned that you may not know, Yes. All right. So Olubumi, I hope I answered your question. Treasure Dede says, what attracts a radio station to hire someone with just a sniping experience in radio? It's been so hard. So this is what I say. Treasure means you've been trying. Are you related to Prayer Dede? And I don't think so because it's you. I think you just have to first of all have an idea. Okay, so this is it. Everybody wants to be on Cool FM. Everybody wants to be on Beat FM. Everybody wants to be on Classic FM. On Sound City, young people. But you see, sometimes you look for where they're looking for hands. It could be Radio Rivers 1, Radio Rivers 2, Treasure FM, those stations that maybe you feel they're old school, they're too serious. So what you should be looking at if you want to get in, look at getting experience. Just look for anywhere you can go where you can put it on your CV. Put it on your CV that I was a radio presenter somewhere, or I was a co-host, or I was an intern somewhere. Have a big picture mentality. Have a big picture mentality. Let your mind, give yourself some time. Give yourself some time. Think 1 year ahead. Think 2 years ahead. I want to be on Cool FM. I can't be on Cool FM now, but I can start from somewhere. I know tomorrow I'll be on Cool FM. I tell you what. When I was an unpaid presenter at a government station somewhere in Calabar, and I was what we call artist, and I was looking for how to get out of government and try and get a job, I used to send my programs recorded because I used to do music radio. I used to send my programs to Cool FM Port Harcourt. I had a friend who was in Uniport, he was from Calabar. So when he's coming to school, I'll pack my recordings, all my programs, I'll send it to Cool FM Port Harcourt. Yeah. And I think then you had the likes of Mike and some other guys, I never got called. But I ended up working in the environment, Kowazobia Info. You understand? I'm in Lagos Talks today. Then when it started Lagos Talks, it was Mega Electrics. I have been to, as a youngster, when I used to enter a night bus to go to Lagos to look for my recordings, CD, I'll go to Radio Continental. Then they just started a station called TV Continental. You don't know what it was, but that's what it's TVC now. I used to go to Silverbed. I'll just go. Sometimes they will bounce me at the gate. In this Mega Electrics in Lagos that I enter now anyhow, they bounce me at the gate. I was wearing one oversized jacket suit. I had flown in from Calabar with my CDs. I slept in the bus park, so Jelegba or Zijibo, one of the two, And I wanted to see Olisa Adibo. I saw him, but of course, if I could see him, I have to go through the gates, house security. And if I don't have an appointment, they won't let me. So I had to call somebody who knew him. I said, okay, my small voice now, I'm in Lagos, I want to see you. Okay. He said, okay. I was bounced at the gates. I had to stand outside till he agreed and now allowed me to sit down in the gatehouse, security post. They don't know, none of them know. I was hearing one of my friends at he's in Niger FM in that Lagos, Mega Electrics too, because the same compound, saying that Rufai, who is on Arise News, used to come to Lagos Talks, Mega Electrics to look for work. Rufai, who is on Arise News, used to come to Lagos Talks to look for work. I think OTV is the one who used to tell me that. OTV is an OAP on Niger FM. So what I'm saying is that sometimes you might not get the opportunities you're looking for, but you have to tell yourself, and I'm speaking not just to the person who asked this question, but to all of you. It's been so hard. I know, Treasure, it's been so hard. But think long term. If you are determined and you're hungry and you are foolish, as humble and willing to do anything, to learn anything, not do anything, to learn anything, and to be open to ideas, to get to where you want to get to. All that you need is time. Time, that's all you need. But you have to start from somewhere. Where can you start from? Where can you start from? You want the radio station to hire you without experience. They won't hire you. They won't hire you except you're exceptionally good. You're exceptional at something that they can see in you. They won't hire you because they want to know whether you can do it, because they're not going to spend time to burn diesel for someone to come and learn on their station. You understand? So it's okay, fine. If that's the case, let me go to a government station where the civil servants are not really interested in working. They are tired, where they are looking for interns or youngsters. You go and do that one. You don't want to enjoy government salary and then rise from level 13, level 12, level 10. Go there. Or any station that maybe it seems like they don't have too many APs or there, go there. It may say, okay, you just come and be helping us pack some things or do one small program or follow someone. Just go there. Don't wait for a station to hire you. Otherwise, you'll be waiting forever. Okay? Waiting forever. Chuku Divine says, as an aspiring broadcaster and journalist, I joined this training to become a professional football journalist. Okay, how do I start my journey? And what are the steps to take after this training? Oga Samweji and Christina Mampo are my favorite. All right, I'll start Marinji Kalela and Patson Boji. Okay, so what I would say is you need to grow. I think I see a lot of people who are enthusiasts, want to be football journalists, and they have what it takes. I must admit. I see a lot of people who have the fire. But give yourself time. Give yourself time. If you think you have what it takes to go on air, and I think you do, and everybody has what it takes, look for opportunities. You may not be able to go on Niger FM tomorrow, because I'm sure there are so many people waiting on the line. I don't know. But you can be around. One of the things that helped me when I got into CRBC was I was around people I was always seeing on TV who I'll be like, wow. Then Donald Duke was governor of Cross River State. Everyone was popping. By the time I left Calabar, I had rolled with major American musicians, were coming to Calabar for the festival and the carnival, because I was presenting, on stage and doing MC thing to, on DSCB. So sometimes being around people, I just want to be around you, I want to mentor you, I can just follow you, be your PA or something, just whatever you want to do, son. Just give me 6 months and 1 year with you. Just seeing them can demystify that thing that is in you that makes you afraid to think, this being on radio is such a big deal. You say, okay, I've been seeing Kofi Bartels, I've been seeing, Chumanoli, and he's a human being like me, and now I think I can do it. So first of all, look for where there's an opportunity. If it means doing it for free, look for a crew and say, okay, I want to join you, sir. Can I do anything? If there's no opportunity, start doing your own thing on air. Start a podcast. You know, Anchor.fm is free for anyone who wants to start a podcast. You know, start a blog. You can start a blog for free. You know, you can start a blog for free on Google or, you know, Blogspot or any of these WordPress. Start a blog. You understand? Now, there are some people who say they want to be OAPs, but you ask them, what are the hot radio programs in Port Harcourt? They don't know. Give me 5 radio shows. They don't know. Give me 2 or 3 radio presenters. They don't know. Now, how can you be an aspiring sports journalist and you can't tell me? It means you're not even interested. See, when I was in Calabar, because there was only one radio station really in Calabar at the time, when I know that by 10 o'clock, I'm listening to them, I used to hang my phone on a kitchen door when I'm doing my chores in the morning, even after I left school, university, while I'm washing plates, doing my chores, making sure everything in the house is set. Yeah. I'll hang my radio because I know what time Benga James will be on rhythm. I was in Calabar. I knew who Benga James was, but I knew that if I want to catch rhythm, I know where I have to put my phone to catch Benga James. And what's the name of the other guy again? Was it China? I also knew what time Cool FM will have their sports, because Port Harcourt was where I was listening to good radio. I used to record it on my phone. I also knew what time I will catch Cosmo FM Enugu to listen to, I think it was Ralph Chigozie or Chidozie something, who is on Super Sport now. I knew what time, because Cosmo, because you're searching, you hear Cosmo, this sounds like a proper FM station. You understand? I hope I'm still, okay, are you guys hearing me? Okay, I'm still here. Okay, so there are people who will tell you they want to be on radio, but they don't have the interest. You know, some people meet me, so I have a young woman who wants to be on air. I say, okay, fine. Has she applied for has she gone for any auditions? What is an audition? A station says they're looking for an OAP. They'll ask people to come and audition. You go, they record you, and then they'll play back all the recordings to see who is the best person to pick. They'll pick maybe 5 or 10 who come for interviews. Then they'll now pick one person as the presenter. I said, okay, they tell me, no, there's not one. I know that last month, Cool FM did 1, Bazobia did 2. I know that Classic FM did something. I know that this. So they mean that the girl has not gone for 1. They say no, or the boy has not gone. So if she's really looking for this thing, how come can she go on to any place to say, oh, please, I want to do something? He said no. So I'll say, how can you be so interested and so hungry for this thing? But you've never gone out to even anywhere to say, because I ask these things to know how serious the people are. So you have to start from somewhere. If you're hungry, you know what to do. You knock on doors. The doors are not open, you go elsewhere. You know, start from somewhere. Okay. So I hope I've been able to answer your question, Chiku. Idella Daniel says that as an inspiring sport broadcaster, what are the basic steps to take to achieve it? So this is what I say. You know, I started as a sports presenter. You see, in sports presentation, it's possible to go under the radar. This I'll tell you. Make sure that you build yourself to become the sports presenter that can present other programs. Okay? And I'm happy that you are in part of this Next Media Star, because the mentor you have here at Sammy Wejia now is one of the best on the continent of Africa. You know, they know him outside Africa. If you're calling him African OAPs, Sammy Wejia is one of the sports presenters that is unsportsmanly, if I call it that. Because as a sports presenter, you don't need to even say the words right. You can come and say anything. All people want to hear is that Chelsea 2, Chelsea Dynamo Zagreb 1, Chelsea 0. That's what we want to hear. And then you can see some things they can call him and talk. But if you can say, hey, I want to build my word bank. I want to work on my pronunciation. I want to work on my presentation skills. All right. I want to work on my scripting, my program structure, how I plan, working on a rundown, all those little things. And I want to improve myself. Then you go on air and you're different. So also I'll tell you, build yourself. Don't just think it's about sport. My advice to you, please, yeah, if you can take this, you're flying. Don't just think it's about sports. Say, I want to be a professional media practitioner who has a bias for sports. You understand? That's the advice I'll give to you. Okay. And just stay hungry. Chibueze Nwoko says, could you please tell us some materials we have to lay our hands on in the course of research? All I'll say is, there's so many materials you can lay your hands on. I mean, for me, I'm a news talk presenter. All right, I do news talk. So that news talk I do it means that I need to have an idea of what's happening in my environment. So I mean, I'm on Twitter a lot. I have notifications that drop on my phone every minute. Even though I don't do sports, I still love sports, so I know what's happening per second. What we say in journalism is you don't need to know everything, okay, but you know something about everything. You don't need to know everything, but you need to know something about everything. So I'm always on Google. Anything I want to find, I just need to do a search. I do a search, and if I'm doing a search, I also have sources, credible sources, news sources. There are some sources I don't go to because, some of you now start going to Opera News, to get Naira Land. You don't go to those places. Look for credible sources that are recognized and you have a track record of credibility. Also, if you can have a copy of Daniel Jones, we call it DJ in broadcasting. We call it DJ. If you have a copy of your DJ, Daniel Jones is a pronunciation book. I think you can get a copy from. Nobody should go and buy a copy. Ogasami will know where to get the best and a good copy of Daniel Jones for you. All right, and then I think it should be one of the things that you should pay for in this class. Okay. So you get that sorted out with him, and if you can get that, you go through it. Any word you're trying to. I didn't go to broadcast school. I didn't go to Radio Nigeria, radio. I didn't go. I have my colleagues and friends who went. Sometimes I'm jealous of them, but I had to build myself up to be able to pronounce words well, to know where to put my stress. To where to put my stress. Presentation, education. At the time I say education, it's not education, it's education. I didn't know. I know because I just wrote it in school and I passed like on A. But nah, nobody this one them teachers. But I was lucky to be told that you have to have Daniel Jones, and he gave us presentation clinics every week, and it helped me. It helped me. That's what saved my life. So if you can build yourself up, a resource that I will recommend is your Daniel Jones, for your pronunciations and your presentation skills, and just read. Go on the internet, go on Google and check out stuff. You understand? Check out stuff. Also, Emmanuel says, what can you say is your highest challenge since started of as an OAP? How did you overcome those challenges? I think staying hungry and motivated. Yeah, staying hungry and motivated. You know, because you have to be careful that the praises and the I won't call it a challenge, but I would say it's something that I've had to pay attention to. You know, have to pay attention to. You know, because I mean, no radio. See, as I'm talking to you, are you with me? This is Zoom now. I'm wearing my Nika. I'm wearing my football Nika. Jacko is a football, as a sports brand. I'm wearing Nika. You can't see me. Some of you are laughing. Some of you are laughing. You can't see my Nick. So radio is like this. You can just walk on air. You can go on air. Nobody is going to. Most times, radio presenters go on radio on station. When we wear Nika, we wear palm. You know, TV. You have to do prim. You have to proper. You have to. Everything has to be on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing TV and radio now in Lagos. And I hardly sleep at night. You know. So when you're on radio, it's possible to just play music, put on the internet, and just start talking. But you see, in this industry, the greatest rule is preparation. Say to yourself, preparation. And like they say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know, as an OAP, you need to prepare for your program ahead of time. If it's news talk, like we deal with news, you can't prepare days ahead. So you mostly will have to prepare on that day, get the latest information, you know who to call and all that. So you have to, analyze. Like I go on air late at night, so sometimes it's hard to get people. Am I recording my guests? If I'm having difficulties recording them, can I get my topics prepared and everything? Like now I know what's the latest. All the things Mika said today, which I'm using to shine in Lagos, maybe already. All the things that Tinubu has said today, which I'm using to shine, I've seen them, so I can do my research and get ready. Okay? So please, you have to be sure that you don't fall into the trap of not of just being at ease, relaxing, losing your hunger and motivation. That you just walk into the studio and just start talking. No, make sure you stay hungry. Make sure you stay motivated to do the little things that will make your 30-minute, 15-minute presentation the best. Prepare. All right, do your homework, do your background work, do your hard work, put in everything. Don't relax, okay? That's very important for any OAP, All right, so please, sir, can you recommend any comment session? Brother, I'm not the one to recommend for you. I won't recommend. Go ahead and do your research. Are you in Calabar? David Wilson, are you in Calabar? You can type. Because you don't need to go to Calabar. I mean, if you're in Port Harcourt, why do you need to go to Calabar? Okay? David Wilson, if you're in Port Harcourt, why do you need to go to Calabar? Right? So you do your research. Go out there. You have to apply some effort and do your research and know who is who, which is what. But I mean, in Port Harcourt, I mean, in River State, Cross River State, you have only one, which is CRBC, radio and TV. In River State, you have the state government stations, of course. Well, in Calabar, you have also now they have Radio Nigeria and an NTA. In River State, of course, you have Treasure FM, you have as federal government, NTA, you have Radio Rivers, you have the other one. What's it called again? So you can just look around and you can find them. But if you're not in Calabar, you don't need to go to Calabar. You can do that. Port Harcourt is a great place, but one of the best places to do this thing I'm talking about, because there are many options. It doesn't have to be a government station. It could be a private, but we go where they're looking for people. go where they need interns, where, okay, maybe the OAPs, maybe they don't have too many of them, and they could do with hands, I love to be a commentator. How do I go about it? My brother, just start where you are. Look, take all the things I've said. All right. Take all the things I've said, or my sister Kenneth West. Take all the things I've said and work with them. Look for who is the commentator, and just let them mentor you. If you can't find anyone to mentor, they can mentor you from a distance. Commentary is not something you find easily done because it's we don't have that in Port Harcourt per se, you understand, except of course the radio commentators who do a coverage, but in terms of commentary for like TV and like those who are in the stadium in the full match, we don't really have that because of rights issues. But you can just get into sports journalism, start from there, and then you find your way to where you can do proper commentary. John Peters, okay, is it John Peters, my friend? I'd like to know. John Peters, who used to listen to me on Radio Port Harcourt, and I think we met because I have a gentleman I know in Port Harcourt called John Peters. I was also always listening to you, John Peters. Are you the one, John? Are you? All right. John Peters is a nice gentleman. If he's the one, he followed me. I think my first visit to the Motherless Babies for Monday like that. I needed listeners to come and join me. And John was the only one.
Sorry, Kofi, sorry for interruption. It's John Peters, your friend. I'm in a very noisy place. That's why I
all
can't.
All right, fantastic. John Peters, I'm so happy to hear from you. As I'm not in Port Harcourt, if I hear people like you who I know, I get inspired. I get inspired. John Peters, I'm inspired that you are here because I know you're always looking for how to grow and how to improve, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, and I know that your country music program that you wanted to start, when there was no opportunity to start it in, I think, Cool FM because of the format, you look for where you could start it and you started it, which is one of the things I'm saying people should look for. Don't wait for that one station. Look for opportunities. I think it's great. So John, nice to see you. Nice to hear from you. I'm so happy. So John, you said you listened to a program from my dining. Yeah, I was doing from my dining or my dining. I was without a job, and I just had to put up. And I spent sleepless nights, hungry and looking for how to get it done. Yes. People who are now, later upon the local government channel. Yes. No, okay, so it's an internet program. We don't need a license. It's like you're running it's like now, what I did was like taking my phone and streaming. It was not a station, it was my personal account. So you don't need a license. You understand? It was my personal. When you now have a radio, even now when you have an online platform, they say you should come and register. But truth is, you don't need to go and register with anybody because it's the internet. It's free. Why should I go and register? Because I want to have a YouTube channel. There are so many YouTube channels out there who don't have any registration. But of course, if you want to transit to doing proper things, then you have to go register. I may need to run off, so I'll be quick with the last three questions. I have to move up so I can get to work. I have to be on air by 9 p.m. So, this is Lagos. So let me just say, Chuku Divine says, how do I start my journey becoming a football journalist and analyst? Okay, so Chuku, I've said, start from just look for where there's an opportunity to grow. Okay, you may not go on there immediately. You may follow all the programs, listen to everyone, and at least try and reach out to presenters and every sports presenters, from wherever. You understand? Try and reach out to them, and you never can tell. If you have what it takes, one of them will say, "Okay, just come and hang around." That's how I started. Just come and be with us. I may just read one thing. That's it. That's how I started. Just come and be around. That come and be around, it can be your break. Okay. Okay, so passion without certain basics. I think I've said it that if you're passionate and then you go on air and then you don't even know how to, you don't even know the sports that you say you want to present, but you're passionate, but you can't even do it. So you need to at least have something. Even though I was passionate and I had no official training, I was just coming as a final year student, who's about to finish school, but I had something. At least the first day I went on air, my friend and my brother Chuma, who was on air before me, he was on that program. Chuma came to me and said, that I did so well. That was the first, and that thing he said fired me. So you need to have something. Okay, so I was in church, in different fora in school. I was always emceeing programs, I like to talk, I like to talk. You can tell. If you allow me, we're here till tomorrow. Like where I am now, one of the few who can sit down without any interruption, talk for 5 hours. Sometimes my time has passed. I was still 1 a.m. I'm still there, so let at least you need to have something. If you don't have that gift of gab, maybe you have so knowledgeable in football that and someone listens to you, you may not be the type who knows who's smooth talker, but you have insight. Like when someone listens to you, this guy, he knows stats. He knows that like I have a friend, Solo Mourinho. He's very hot FM. We started together. He used to sleep. He didn't have where to sleep in Calabar. Solo Mourinho's thing is he can know what happened in 1985 between Real Madrid and Barca, El Clasico. That's his own. Yeah, he can talk, he can present, but his own was that he knows what happened in 1929. And he was so close to a man called Mr. Football, who also has a history of Nigerian football here. So Solomon's own was that. Tony, who's with was Magic FM, I think now he's in Owerri or somewhere, Enugu. Tony's own was that all their transfer stories. He knew, like Tony knew. You could wake him up now. Well, who has Man U bought? You say, well, that was Tony. So have something. Have something. You understand? Have something. Nobody's gonna just put you on air because you can go and mess the station up. And so if you don't have, sometimes you can grow. You can grow. I didn't go on air from the one. I grew up. Daniel Monday says, I study mass communications. I'm currently in my third year. Okay. I've had the chance of presenting sports on a campus radio station. Great. That is what you do. Don't wait till you're on Cool FM or Niger FM. You start from there. 2 years now, I've also hosted a pre-election debate in my school. Fantastic. I hope you have recordings of this. David Investor Belarus, I was employed to present sports on honor. Great. Okay, so financial difficulties, you can no longer. Okay, so did you stop presenting on the campus radio for financial difficulties, or did you stop presenting the online radio financial difficulties? And the financial difficulties for the online radio, is it about internet, Wi-Fi? Okay, if it's about Wi-Fi, the online radio should be able to send you money for Wi-Fi. That's the least they can do. If they're not sending you money for Wi-Fi, or they're not telling you where to go, for money for data, or they're not telling you where to go where you can get Wi-Fi to present for them, or maybe the trans is not there. Because for CRBC, I was not getting any trans. I was trekking sometimes. Then maybe you just have to look for something that you can do within your radius where you live or where your roots. Like for me, I could afford to walk from my house, my father's house, to CRBC. It was like walking from let me say, like walking from GRA Junction, or let me say Moby B by Stadium Road. It was like walking from Moby B by Stadium Road to Genesis in GRA, because you walk the whole Moby B crossroad, you walk from Moby to Genesis. That was how it was for me, so I could do it. If you know how to trek, that's not too far. So if you don't have anything within your radius, what school are you in? If the online radio is far, you have to go there. You look for something not far from you. If you're in RSU and you live within town, look for a station nearby that it's one bus, or you can do Legady's Benz. You get there, you understand, yeah? but the campus radio is not a bad one. Okay. Mecca Tony says, well, I have had an opportunity while in school, Uniport Today FM. Okay. I don't know. I'm in Lagos. I would like to go for it. Yeah. So you put your pen on, put pen to paper, write an internship letter. There's so many radio stations in Lagos who are looking for an internship. Where in Lagos do you live? Emeka, do you stay on mainland or island? I hope you know say internship, they no go pay you.
I know that, sir. I live in mainland.
Mainland, okay. That makes it difficult because if you're an island, maybe I could point you. So mainland, Emeka, you hit me up now. Yeah,
Okay, sir. Well, I had an opportunity then when I was starting my NYC, but due to the distance, so I think they asked me to look for somewhere else or thereabout.
Okay. Mainland has there are stations on mainland that because everybody's gravitating towards island. Even TVC is going to Eco Atlantic soon. You know, I mean, look around. Okay, look around. Look for what were you doing today, FM?
I went there to speak about football.
Okay, sports. Okay. So a sports person, fine. I'm sure in the next year or two, we've seen a generation of sports journalists that will tell you they came through some media. You know, it's fantastic. So there are opportunities. Yeah, I think there's stations on the mainland where you can grow. You know, look around. But I mean, since you're in Lagos, with the permission of Sammy, you know, you can DM me on Twitter. Yeah, DM me on Twitter. And then I may not respond immediately because Twitter doesn't show me, but I'll check. Yeah, DM me on Twitter and then tell me, okay, these are the stations I've seen. And I can advise which one to try and apply to and just go and be around. You know, it's not easy, it's tough, but with determination, you'll get there. There's nothing you cannot do. Okay, you can achieve if you're determined. Okay, so I'm sure you have opportunities. Okay, I'm sure. I think we have taken all the messages, and I have to run because I should be on my way to the office soon. You know, so I want to thank all of you for your time. If there are any further questions to ask me, you can reach me on Twitter. You know, Kofi underscore Bartels, KOFI underscore BARTELS, and let me know what you want to ask me. I don't know if I can share my screen so you see my my Twitter account, but let me just type it. I think I can type it instead. So it's just my Twitter handle. So just do me a follow first before you DM me, otherwise I won't answer you. All right. All right. So this is my Twitter account. If you have any questions, you can feel free to, you know, even Facebook, you can drop me an inbox on my page, Kofi Bartels on air. All right, and drop me a message and I'll be glad to hear. So gentlemen, I want to thank you, starting with your mentor and principal, Oga Sami, who is doing an amazing job. I'm really privileged to have been with you today. And once again, I apologize for not coming on at the time I said I would. I want to thank all of you for giving me your time. And stay hungry. Stay hungry. All right, stay hungry. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a real pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. We hope to meet again.
All right, guys. Please, I want to make sure everyone have taken note of the Twitter handles, Twitter handle and Facebook handle. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear
someone
you.
that got the Twitter handle and the Facebook handle, please. Let
Okay,
us
We
please,
can hear you.
please, it's
know.
in
I couldn't, I
his
lost who
social.
it was.
Hello, can you listen, please? His social media handles are in the chat box, so you can just screenshot it or copy it down before they end the class.
Done. All right, we have gotten it.
All right, we'll meet in
Yeah, go on.
class. Have a nice day. I guess everyone understood and learned something today.
Yeah, very great.
All right. Bye.
You're doing well, Captain.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're doing well. Thank you.